Yup, DNF. Okay, it's race morning, finally. It is Sunday, June 11th, 4 in the morning. Probably gonna leave soon. To get to the start point, you have to take the shuttle. I'm gonna go and take the shuttle. Feeling good. It's funny, I had a great sleep. Yeah, I just had breakfast. Listen to some music to get in the zone. I'm not gonna be able to film this, unfortunately, because you can't. But I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this with me. I'm gonna film as much as I can. Which is basically until right before the beginning. So yeah, pumped. Okay, so just arrived at the rest. They shuttled us from the Boulder High School, and right now I'm on my way to check out on my bike. I need to drop some water bottles and some nutrition and things like that. So, all right, here in transition area, bike is set. Put this little thing, gonna make me go fast on the bike. Hopefully, bottles here, gels are here, water. Tires are in good shape. My first DNF ever. I'll be honest, I mean, yeah, I'm a little bummed about yesterday, but I just prefer not to just dwell, you know, in that state of mind. So right now, I feel good. I feel pretty positive, and just look forward to finding that next race. Race day, I got up early, like at 3 in the morning. I had a good sleep, had breakfast, got ready. You know, went to this place where you had to take a shuttle to take you to the race start. So I did that. Actually, it was a rolling start, and I seated myself in the group that was expected to complete the swim within an hour and an hour 15 minutes. So the funny thing is that my PR is 1 hour and 11 minutes, and when I talked about that with my coach, she said, I want you to see yourself in the group that's expected to finish in an hour. And I said, well, but my PR is 1:11. And she was like, I don't care, you're ready. I love that attitude about my coach, Beck. She's like always in the offensive. So thank you, Beck, for helping me to be more aggressive on that aspect. Swim started. I was feeling good at the beginning, and then within a minute of being in the water, I started feeling anxious again. And for a couple of seconds, I thought I was gonna quit. But then I started thinking about my training. I started thinking about my wife, my coaches, even things like, you know what? I spent a lot of time and money getting ready for this. Just get your together. One of the things that I did to help me to focus on, which is something that I was planning to do, was to count from buoy to buoy. I would start counting until I would hit the next buoy. And that's what I did. The first third of the swim was not easy. You know, you have a lot of people next to you. You're trying to pass people. People pass you. Sometimes people knock you a little bit. They grab your feet and things like that. So it was not easy. It was not easy to find a rhythm in that very first section. And since counting really helped me to do more bilateral breathing, which was good. Because bilateral breathing always helps me to go in a straighter line than if I breathe, you know, one side or the other. So that was good. And then when I hit, you know, the second third of the swim, or kind of towards half of the swim, I think I found my rhythm. I started thinking more about how I was supposed to swim. Started thinking about several of the sessions that I've done before. But then there was a moment where water got really choppy, and it's such a weird feeling, because if you've done open water swim before, you'll probably relate to this. When you get hit with some waves, and it's this feeling of like, I'm just swimming and not moving forward, and then you feel that your body moves from side to side. So it was not a fun feeling at all. One of the things that I do every time I face that kind of moments is I talk to myself, and I try to extra focus, and I say, okay, this is happening, you know, it's temporary, don't worry, do your best to keep moving forward. And by talking to myself, at least in my head, it helps me not only to focus and concentrate, but also to avoid getting dizzy, because, you know, you just are moving, you know, in different directions. So that happened during that part of the swim. And it's funny because there's a moment there where my throat got really dry, because, you know, you breathe, and it's, you know, a long period of time that you're out there without drinking any kind of water. So I did something gross, which I just want to hear. I wonder if you've done this before, but I just chucked some water, like, because I needed to feel some kind of hydration down my throat. And I say it's kind of gross because swimming in the reservoir, not necessarily the cleanest water that you'll find. So yeah, it's okay. And the last part of the swim is pretty cool. I think it's pretty mental, that when you find the buoy that you know is going to be the beginning of the last portion of your swim, you get this rush of adrenaline and extra strength, I guess. So that really helped me to focus again, and started swimming, you know, correctly, and found my rhythm again. So I just kept, you know, going through buoy, passing buoys, and passing some people. So that felt really good. And then towards the very end, when I could see the swim exit, you know, I could see the swim exit. It was because there's this arch that says swim exit, right? I could see it, and I started swimming harder, and then BAM! I got a cramp on my right calf, actually. And I didn't freak out, but I was like, oh my god, what do I do? So I actually called a kayaker, one of the volunteers, and I said, hey, I have a cramp. So I said, hey, just to let you know that I have a cramp, but I'm going to keep swimming, so I would really appreciate it if you can keep an eye on me. And I kept swimming, and it went well. So exited the water feeling really strong, because I actually was able to run when I left the water towards transition 1, change my clothes, put on my cycling clothes. I spent a little extra time in the transition area, like I think 5 minutes, which is not ideal, but you know. And then I started running towards the mount area, you know, with my bike by my side. So I was feeling really good. So right after I passed the mount area, I got on my bike and I started pedaling slowly, because, you know, you're just leaving transition, right? You're just going pretty slowly. And one of the things that I wanted to do this year to monitor my nutrition was to like use my watch to remind me that I needed to eat every 30 minutes. So I was setting up my watch for it to remind me every 30 minutes, and I was just pushing buttons. And the next thing that I realized, or that I noticed, was that I was running into one of the fences that, you know, were on the side of the road, and that's when I went down. My first reaction after I crashed was, do I have any kind of broken bones? Am I good? I saw my hand was bleeding. There were several bruises in several parts of my body, but luckily I could tell there was nothing broken, which is fine, you know. Still, I was a little bummed because I had this in my right hand, So I knew that my race was over. You know, I just couldn't ride the bike anymore. It was a little bit of a bummer because if you have seen my videos, you know how much I love my bike and spend time, you know, finding a good deal and things like that. So, but then I was, one of the volunteers took my bike and put it back to the transition area, and I walked to the medical tent, and that's where they took care of my wounds, and then I took the shuttle back to high school to meet my wife, so she picked me up there, and then after that I just went back home. And a little bit of a bummer that I wasn't able to complete this race, because even though I didn't have a PR in the swim, my PR was 1:11, I did it in 1 hour and 21 minutes. From what I heard, it was not a fast swim, so I think I did okay. What I want to do is look for another full distance Ironman that I can do. I still don't know what rate's gonna be. We'll see. I mean, one of the challenges, one of the things that, I'll be honest, it's not easy for me to just say, okay, I'm gonna sign up to this race tomorrow, is these races are expensive, and you know, I'm an entrepreneur, and as an entrepreneur, you use all the resources that you have in your business, so you don't have a lot of available resources to spend in things like these kinds of things. So I need to figure that out, so we'll see. I know I'm going to find a solution soon, but besides that, I feel good. My cuts and rashes and bruises, actually, they're not as bad as they looked or felt yesterday, so I'm recovering pretty quickly. And you know, it was a great learning yesterday. So next, I hope that you keep joining me in this journey to doing Ironman again and other crazy things, because you gotta finish what you start, right? Thanks for watching again.